Right then, how's this for a little bit of breaking news? Pulisic, Andy Mitten, pretty good in terms of Manchester United, and especially in terms of transfers and stuff. Andy doesn't stick his neck on the line for bullshit and rumours, so always inclined to go with whatever Andy says. Very well sourced. United are interested in Pulisic on loan, is what he's just written in The Athletic. But there's also other teams in the mix. Newcastle United, Juventus, Atletico Madrid have all got approaches for him as well. But it sounds like he would actually be interested in joining Manchester United, and that would be his preference for starters. That's interesting to me, because I would have thought a player that has played in the Premier League hasn't exactly lit the Premier League up, did have a good first season, would maybe be looking elsewhere. And I could see the appeal of Atletico Madrid or Juventus, especially. I think any player joining Manchester United, certainly for another Premier League team at the moment, is interesting. It's not one I would be advising if I was the player's agent, put it that way. In terms of how much do I rate Pulisic? Well, as you may or may not be aware, I'm getting some right pelters at the moment from Arsenal fans saying that buying City's reserves isn't going to turn you into a force. And the same applies here for me. This guy isn't going to make us a force. I'm a bit on the fence here with Pulisic, to be honest. I think he's a decent player. United need more than a decent player, though. But the fact that there's a few things that I think are positives in this. One, it's on loan. Two, he's got a genuine frustration at the club that he's at. He did play a lot last season after missing out early doors from injury. For whatever reason, he seems like he's not the flavour of the month at the moment. He is a bit of a pressing guy, and he does like to defend from the front. So I can understand the reasons why Ten Hag wants him. My worry is his best season has not been a double figures goals or assist season. I think it was 9-4 is the best that he's ever produced. I don't believe he's a massive upgrade on any of the forwards that we've got at all. The fact that he's on loan is a positive. And that sort of covers up his injury record, because I don't think his injury record is one that you want to get excited about either. But the fact that it's on loan, I think that's a good move, I think. So on the basis that it'd be a loan, I'd probably roll with it, to be honest. His injury record worries me, and that's why I wouldn't be interested in this as a signing. Certainly for the money. I mean, he's rated here at 37.8 million. I think they bought him for 58 million. That shows you that he's come to the Premier League and he hasn't increased his value. He's actually dropped a third of it or so. So I think bringing in a player like this on loan adds to the front. But what I think it highlights is there was some talk over the last 48 hours or so that the Glazers are turning off the tap, which might give some credence that there is a potential sale on the cards. Whether that's down to Knighton and his imaginary consortium, I have no idea. The fact that there's Elon Musk doing tweets and stuff like that as well. Elon's got a bit of a habit of being on the wind-up. He did say he was going to buy Coca-Cola at one point and put the cocaine back in. I wouldn't exactly take everything that he tweets as gospel. But there is some movements afoot, it seems. And I felt like I think I said this at the time of the Super League or shortly after the Super League. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Glazers sell up following the Super League failure. But the way that it seems like the Glazers have seemingly stopped mega funds. Look at our actions and words and all that lot, right? And if you want to say actions speak louder than words, then no words are speaking louder than the actions that we've had this summer, where we've brought in a free transfer, a £12 million left back, and the one player that we've actually spent, which was like real money, was Martinez, when we knew we needed 5 or 6. So Yeah. For those in the comments saying Elon Musk has said that he was joking, he has, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into it and see if he's ever joked about something in the past and then actually gone on and tried to buy it. I know he's having a bit of a back and forward with Twitter at the moment, but that started off as a joke, and he did say he did say he was a United fan. It would be the only sports team that he would buy. I think that's very interesting. Going back to Pulisic, another thing on Pulisic which I think is a positive is it is a player that's played in the Premier League, and I'm not sure the Premier League is the highest of standards. However, the intensity of the Premier League can be something that people struggle to get used to immediately. So bringing in a loanee that's played in the Premier League, I actually think that would be another plus for us as well. It's more a case of the fact that we're going out and trying to find loans than trying to find the right player that's ours. Do you know what I mean? We're buying a scratch card to see if we can pay our rent. This isn't how an efficient business runs. This isn't how a well-run, slick, confident organization runs. We don't buy injury-prone loan, or we don't get injury-prone loanees. We go and bring in people that can actually do stuff. Urawa says Pulisic is better than Rashford. Okay, if that's the case, why has he never outscored him? Matthew says Manchester United are interested in Jan Sommer as a backup goalkeeper, one of 3 options in that list. We're doing a goalkeeper scout report actually this week, so stay tuned for that one. Irwin says literally backed himself into a corner by signing a document saying he has to buy Twitter, now trying everything to get out of it. But my point is, it started off as a joke. So it started off as, I think he was like, I'll buy Twitter. So, Witterbird says, what do I make of Richard Arnold? At the moment, the jury's completely out. Wait until the end of this window. Wait until, at the moment, I've got no evidence of good or bad. He got a plus for meeting with the fans and sitting with them in a pub. How long does that last? It's not indefinite. You get a boost for that. He has to go and do his job or appoint people who can. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's doing things, or he's putting people in place that can do their jobs, it seems. Alan says, if the Glazers are ready to sell, why would they be holding off on making transfers? Not the money they're spending. A little bit confused. But it is, though. Because you shell out money on a transfer, that could be money that's sitting in the bank and all the rest of that sort of stuff. That's literally takes money away unless you can then put the contract value in there. I don't know. Daniel Kirk says buying the LeBron James of soccer is the most Glazer thing ever. Oh yeah, I forgot that's what Pulisic is known as. Hilariously. Pajak says Pulisic is 2-footed. I do believe he is 2-footed, yeah. He is versatile, and that's one of the things that it mentions in the Athletic article, actually, that Pulisic's versatility is something that's a massive plus for anyone looking to sign him. It mentions he can play in the 8 there. I'm not sure to what degree he can play in the 8, but he can play in the 10. He can play either wing. I'm also unsure about how much he can play down the centre as well. Chris Strava says, am I having Casemiro? That's about as real as me playing for United. So, no, I'm not having Casemiro. I don't think there's any truth in that whatsoever. Liam says, in my view, do I actually think they will sell? On a long enough timeline, they will sell, right? But is that timeline between now and Saturday? Do I think they'll sell before Saturday? No. Do I think they'll sell before the end of the season? Maybe. Do I think they'll sell this financial year before Christmas? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure how long these deals take. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never bought a £4 billion company or more, right? So I have no idea how long these things take to organise and all the rest of that sort of stuff. Guy Fawkes, what was that one? Liam Presley says, do you think they'll sell? I've answered that one. Yeah, on a long enough timeline, yes. Robert says, you don't think anybody is an upgrade on this lot? I do, but yeah, let's not pretend we've not. I mean, this isn't Pulisic that we saw. I mean, even in the Bundesliga, I don't think he got double figures. Like, this is, I mean, look at what Sancho did. Look what Pulisic did. Same club, vastly different. Why do you think he would come to Manchester United and be vastly better than what we've seen out of the likes of Sancho and that? Jordan says, our issue is clubs now know we're desperate, 50 million plus added to every player who actually fits the system. I expect the rest of our business to be aging players on frees and loanees. Yep. Rahman says, bring in Paul Mitchell. That's the problem. Jay Bruce says he's not an 8 at all. That's my thoughts too, but, you know, this is what they're talking about in here. Can I see any positives at the minute? Not really. One positive, we don't live forever. Thomas says, our stadium is falling apart. They don't give a shit. The fact that they had the women based out of a fucking porter cabin, would you not be embarrassed? If you owned Manchester United, Manchester United used to stand for and represent all sorts of stuff when I was growing up, and that's the ideal that I still believe in and would like us to get back to. Were porter cabins ever in that fucking visual? For me, they weren't. Darmin says, bring in Freddie Adu. Remember him? I'm pretty sure I saw an article about where he's ended up, Freddie Adu. I'm going to have to Google. Let's see. Freddie Adu. Let's see where he's at. He's still playing. And he is playing in Sweden Division... Srimmersram Municipality in Division 1. That looks almost amateur, to be honest. He's had some crazy clubs. So DC United, Real Salt Lake, Benfica for 4 years where he made a whopping 14 appearances. Monaco on loan for a season where he had 9 appearances, nil points. Belenenses where he had 3 appearances, no goals. And then Aris, I don't even know who they are. Greek club, where he scored, and in 5 appearances scored 1. And then Keka Rizespor, which is another Turkish team, which scored 3 in 11. Then he went to Philadelphia Union, where he scored 7 in 35. Then he was at Bahia, which is a Brazilian team, which looks like an amateur Brazilian team, to be honest, where he played twice. Then Jagodina, which is a Serbian first league, second tier in Serbia. Then KUPS, which is a Finnish team. Jesus. Honestly, more clubs than Tiger Woods. Tampa Bay Rowdies, where he played 12 games. Las Vegas Lights, they're USL, aren't they? USL Championship. And then Ostel and FF, where he's actually not made an appearance. Let's see. He did come on loan. I remember seeing pictures of him on loan at United, the AIG era. Let me check this out. So, the Osterland manager said he has said that he wants to resume his career, and when I think you want to show yourself your best side, but he was totally untrained when he came here. His physical status was 0. We gave him a chance, a month or so to see, but when you're away so long, he's barely trained with us, and he had defects all along, and I do not see he has the mental strength required to recover. That was the last line written on him. That was in 2020. I don't reckon anything's going to happen with him in the future. Ed says, have I heard anything on the protest? Only what 1958 have put out. Nick says, surely Elon has put the share price up. Well, Elon commented after the stock market has closed, possibly deliberately, and then he clarified it was a joke within minutes, didn't he? So the New York Stock Exchange has not been open and isn't open yet still. So currently he has not affected the price in the slightest. So no, I don't think he has. However, if people actually believe that he isn't joking and that he is going to do this, then I think you might actually see some movement from him. Menon says, what about João Felix? Don't believe that, lad. He's literally just trying to get a new contract or something. There's no way we're trying to get João Felix in. That's absolute nonsense. Daniel says, quick thoughts on Romano's Jan Sommer tweet. Any good? We're doing a scout report on goalkeepers, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm going to wrap it up there. My thoughts on Pulisic, to just wrap it up. I don't think he's the answer. I think he's a massive risk. If this was a transfer, I'd be saying no. I'd be saying absolutely no. However, on loan, I think that mitigates the risk from United's side. I don't think he's a massive upgrade on any of the players that we're getting at the moment, but I do think that we need some reinforcements up front. So I'm behind it on that basis, but this guy's not going to be the answer for us. That's what I'm reckoning. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Laters.